Right. So I'm making this video to further elaborate on the constellation Aquarius and what Aquarius really mean and represent. Now, I use the word constellation and not sign because I study actual sidereal astrology. And in studying sidereal astrology, the term sign is not how to put no it's not to me not acceptable, right? Because sign is when you're dealing with seasonal astrology or tropical astrology, right? Because they base tropical or western astrology does it based off of the seasons in the northern hemisphere, which do exist for everybody. Okay. Now people talking about the common age and the age of Aquarius, and nobody really understands the astrological ages. People don't fully understand the precession of the equinoxes. People fully don't understand the 72 degrees that the sun does move through the equinoxes every 72 years. People don't understand that. Every 72 years, the sun does shift a degree through the equinox, right? And for who don't know, the equinox, the spring equinox, is the portion of the year where the sun is in an upward movement north, and it does pause halfway to make an equal day and equal night. 12 hours, 12 equal hours are light, 12 equal hours are darkness, right? To divide the day equally. That is the equinox, right? You know that the sun, when the heralding of the spring equinox is when you know that the sun is in an upward movement to the north, right? From being in the south for the winter months in the northern hemisphere, the sun was move some degrees up, and on its halfway journey, you get a period at exact equal day and equal night. That's the equinox. Currently, the spring equinox is in the constellation of Pisces, and in roughly about 200 years, give or take 50 years, add or take away 50 years, we'll be heading across into Aquarius, because a lot of astrologers making people believe that we soon will be there, or we already there, which we are not, right? The spring equinox still have uh, at least roughly 200 years if you add or take away 50 years in Pisces. Now, Aquarius, the age that we are heading into, a lot of people still have this foolish notion, especially these astrologers have this foolish notion that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Aquarius, and I keep saying this, is not ruled by Uranus. Aquarius is and it will always be ruled by Saturn, right? Aquarius is the positive side of Saturn. Now, we like to have this belief that Saturn is all negative. Saturn is not all negative like what we would like to see. The root word of the word negative is negate, just as the root word of the word positive is posit. Posit means to put out, negate means to nullify or absorb, right? To make null. People need to read and they will know these things. The root word of the word negative is negate, which means to nullify. It's not necessarily a bad thing in the sense of human existence or existence within this realm of the cosmos. Saturn represents limitation, okay? Limiting, okay? Now, because of that, I think that's why a lot of people would say that he is the negative force. But in reality, it's a balancing force. Saturn is the balancing force. That is why Saturn is exalted in the constellation of Libra. There's where he finds his exaltation. That is his home away from home. Now, stick up in the quick. Saturn is exalted in an air constellation. Why would he be exalted in an air constellation when he's fully Earth, as according to seasonal astrology? The reason why Saturn is exalted in the constellation of Libra, it is because the constellation of Libra exalts the Aquarian side of Saturn. Now, we all know the Capricorn side of Saturn. That is Saturn's receptive side, the negative side of Saturn, right? The receptive side, which is the negative side, right? It Capricorn in a nutshell represents being disciplined, right? Learning to endure hardship, endure difficulty, um, to endure um, physical hardships within the physical realm, right? It represents being hardened, being hardy. That is the earthy side of Saturn. That side that is preparing for physical challenges, physical hardship, right? Making you hard. To make one hard, one needs to be disciplined. Okay? That's why Saturn is also referred to as the father. Moon is the mother, while Saturn is the father. He's the disciplinarian, right? He wants to he want to Saturn want to prove you. He wanted to he want to make you resilient. He wants to harden you. Right. Aquarius is the positive side of that, which is humility. That is all Aquarius represent, not innovation, not none of that crap that these Western astrologers is be telling us. Aquarius just simply represents being humble, humility, being the humble servant. Remember, Aquarius is an air constellation, not a water like some people would believe. Aquarius is an air constellation. It deals with the mental aspect of existence, just like Libra and Gemini. Gemini is communication, Libra is harmony and balance. Now, the air constellations deal with the social aspect of existence, interacting with each other. That is what the air constellations represent. Social interactions. Gemini is communication. Libra is harmony and balance. Aquarius represents social relation, communal relation. Okay? Because that is what the 11th house, which Aquarius signifies, represents. The 11th house is not the house of friendship and all that crap where they like to, because they don't have a clue. The 11th house is the house of community relations, communal relation, how you relate to your community, your environment. That's why they mistake it for friendship. But the 11th house just simply represents community, community relation. Okay? Because that is what Aquarius is about. Being the humble servant, being the one that decide, well, hey, everybody can be the king. Everybody can be a warlord or a general. Everybody can be a nobleman. Somebody had to do the dirty work that nobody else don't want to do. That is why when you draw up the stars of the constellation of Aquarius, it look like a man carrying, because you see, the Romans mistakenly called Aquarius the water bearer, because that's what the word Aquarius is translated into English, water bearer. Aquarius is not just a water bearer. When you drop the stars and you check it out, Aquarius is be carrying something across the back, looking like it could be lumber, something of that effect. But like he carrying something, like and alongside the pitcher of water, meaning that he's a servant, because that is what Aquarius is, a humble servant. That is why Aquarius is the exact opposite of Leo. While Aquarius represents humility and being willing to serve in the social order, Leo is the opposite of that, the confident king, the man that is confident and courageous and bold enough to step out and say, I is the leader, I am the leader, right? So, quickly wrapping up here, the age of Aquarius that we are heading into is an age of, it will be like the humbling of mankind in a nutshell. That is what the age of Aquarius is, the humbling of mankind, right? Where whatever disasters, because in every changing over there, it does have great disaster. Every time an astrological age changed over, it had great disaster and devastation and catastrophic events. This will be no different in roughly 200 years or so. However, the changeover doesn't, the events, the catastrophic events don't necessarily have to happen on the exact, you know, it could happen, it could be starting from all now. Probably that's why we're seeing so much, you know, because sometimes constellations does overlap and interlude. So this changing over, 'cause right now we actually are in the changing over stage. So the changing over is what causing the sun. Within a little over 200 years, we will fully be in Aquarius. And that's my little 2 cents on it, right? I may make another video to further elaborate.